heads for a moment and reflect on God's goodness, His grace, His mercy. Thank you for His Son, that we can be free. Thank you, Lord. Heavenly Father, we give you praise, we give you thanks, we give you glory. Thank you for all that you're doing in our midst, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for your Holy Spirit that dwells in us. That we know, the shadow of doubt that God, that we are saved. Lord, we give you praise, we give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen. I want to say good morning to the church of Church and Farm White River Ministry. Thank you for being here. Thank you for Cardinal, Archbishop, Overseer, all that God is doing and about to do and continue to do in your life. We know it wasn't, it was hard time at times, but God has possessing you for His greatness, to show forth His glory in your life, that you can be an example to many that will bring before you. I wanted to say thanks to our senior pastor this morning, Dr. Dwayne Barnes. God bless you. God bless our associate pastor, Pastor Reed. Thank you. I want to give honor and glory to our First Lady, Evangelist Barnes, and also our deacon in our midst, Deacon Dave. Bless God for you. Let's turn to the Word of God today this morning and return to Philippians chapter 1 and verse 27. Philippians chapter 1 and verse 27. All that we have taught today, I don't know for some reason, like everything is just be tying into things that I thought. It had to be the Holy Spirit, that He's the one that ties things together. He's the one that knit things together. That is His purpose, to knit things together, bring all things in one. No matter what title you may have or what you're going through, but at the outcome of it, God must be glorified. Many might talk about this, will say about that, but it all boils down, who do you believe? What is your belief in God? Do you believe that God sent His Son? Do you believe that He would die on the cross for you and I? It all boils down to that. That the gospel that was preached, the gospel that Paul preached, it was given to him, that gospel. So we'll take it from Philippians chapter 1 and verse 27, and I'll go from 27 to verse 30. And it reads, "Only let your conduct be worthy of the gospel of Christ, so that whether I come and see you, or am absent, I may hear of your affairs, that you stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel, and not in any way terrified by your adversary, which is to them to prove to prediction, but to you of salvation, and that from God. For to you it has been granted on behalf of Christ, not only to believe in Him, but also to suffer for His sake, having the same conflict which you saw in me, and now here is in me." Father God, we thank you for your word. And today, my topic today will be standing firm. Standing firm. We sing a song earlier before, "On the solid rock I stand." My question today is, what are you standing firm for? Or what are you standing firm?
question.
For what? Many people stand firm for a lot of things. Growing up when I was small, I remember when in the military force or in scout, they always say, stand firm. As soon as the captain comes, they say, stand firm. And we straight up. Standing on what? We're standing on the gospel. Here is Paul is talking to the Philippians and them about standing firm on the gospel of God, the gospel of Christ. We all know that in Philippians, the theme of Philippians, Paul talks about rejoice in the Lord always. How can I rejoice when everything around me seems to be hectic, chaotic? How can I rejoice in it? Many people cannot rejoice in it because it's what they're standing, what are their foundation. The scripture talks about different types of foundation. A foundation which is on sand, a foundation which is on the rock.
Right.
Some people stand on the sand, and what happened with the sand? The sand move away, they fall. When we stand on the solid rock of Christ, we know the foundation that we stand on. So here is Paul is talking to the Philippians and them and telling them to stand firm on the gospel of Christ. They say, let your conduct or your behavior or your conversation be worthy. Be worthy. So it tells me that there have been murmuring. It tells me there is something has been going on in the church. It doesn't tell us what was going on in the church. But as we read the scriptures, we know that there is something is happening within the church, and he needs to encourage them to let them know that your conduct, in spite of what is happening within the church, you want our conduct be worthy of the calling of God or of the gospel. That's why I said, only let your conduct, let your conversation, whatever you're doing, be worthy. Don't allow situation, don't allow things around you to cause your conduct not to be worthy of the gospel. So here he is zeroing that our conduct must be followed by the gospel of Christ. Understanding that here is Paul, he was given the gospel. Let's go to Romans chapter 1. It says, Paul, a born servant of Jesus Christ, called by the apostle, separated to what? To the gospel of God. This gospel is not Paul's gospel. This gospel is not my gospel. This gospel is not your gospel. This gospel is God. It comes from only God. So that our conduct now, we must line up ourselves. We must submit to the gospel.
Amen.
We must stand firm on the gospel.
My God.
Our calling, our walk, our conversation must be worthy of the gospel. It's difficult to stand in the midst of confusion. Yes, I know it's difficult. But once we understand who gave the gospel, it causes us to line up with the gospel. We have pushed away the gospels for too many times in the church. We have pushed away the gospel for some other reason. But I want us to understand that this gospel comes from God. It's a gospel of truth. There is no error in it. There is no shadow of turning. There's always truth. So even though that we are going through a time of trials, as we spoke last week, about 1 Peter 4 and 15, about the trials that we face. The trials come to what? To prune us, to shape us, that we become formed to the image of His Son Jesus Christ. This trial, it's like fire, a refiner's fire that will refine us, refine our minds, refine our conduct, so that we'll be able to please God. Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. Amen. Paul said, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that what you present. Mm-hmm. There is a way of presenting ourselves. I like our cardinal speak today, that the new post or the new call upon her life is to present. Amen. If we don't present ourselves in the way that God wants us to present, we are not standing firm. So Romans chapter 12 and verse 1, that you present your bodies what? As a living sacrifice. A sacrifice, a sacrifice is not easy. A sacrifice is pain. It's things that our flesh want. When we become born again, when we become the children of God, there is a war that is in us, that is fighting within us, that wants to do the things of the world and wants to do the things of God. And there is a war continually happening within us. That's why Paul could say, that's why Paul understands that when he was going through, he said, don't let my chain, don't let my persecution stop you from believing or standing firm on the gospel. This trial that I'm going through is for the glory of God. That's why we need to keep our heads lifted high. We need to trust in God. One thing I like about my pastor, he always said, don't look at me, look to God. It's the same way that Moses pointed people to God. Leaders must point people to God, not to themselves. Every time a leader stands up and begins to point people to themselves, you are causing the people to fall. You are causing them to stumble. You are causing them to believe in you and not the God of salvation. Amen. So what will happen if that leader begins to fall? Everything falls. So here is Paul is telling them, here is Paul is telling them, listen, your conduct is very important. Sometimes you may have word, you may have preached the word so good. Sometimes we may say the right word, but our conduct, our walk in life is not pleasing to God. That's why Paul said, examine yourself. We all have to examine ourselves. Don't think that you are more highly. Don't think that you are more righteous. We all have to examine ourselves. We all have to take time and see if my plumb line is in the things of God. Am I in the right standard of God? Am I doing what God called me to do? It's tough. I'm not going to stand here and say it's easy. Just look around about us, what is happening. Look around about what's happening in our society, in the nation, even in our homes, in our communities. If we don't stand for the word of God, we fall for anything. As it says, if we don't have a standard, we fall for anything. Anything that comes. Any wind that blows. This week, God allowed me to bring up a guy who's a philosopher before me. And a philosopher is one who thinks that he knows all and sees stuff. And I will tell you the honest truth. It sounds good. You take me back, it sounds good. And you take me back and say this and that. I said, yes, it sounds good. But if I was not in the Word of God, if I was not standing in the Word of God, I would be swayed of it even today. Because he wanted to come back.
Right.
He said, do you want me to come back? I said, no. I stopped him.
Yeah.
Because I know where he's coming from. I thank God for the teachings I went to school about. I know where he's coming from. I know his ideology. I know what he's trying. Because he said he was a Christian. He used to go to church. He read the Bible. He read the Bible 3 times. The whole Bible. 3 times he read the Bible. He told me where the Old Testament is contradicting the New Testament. He told me about there is no sin nature and all these things like that. He told me that he went to a woman and this woman do something to him and take away his consciousness. So it tells you, even the scripture talks about that people's conscience will be snared on all too. That they don't have no time with sin. Whatever they do, and all is good and all is well. And as I begin to read and as I begin to go back into my studies, I begin to go back into the Word, I say, no, this is trouble. So he called me, can I come? I said, no, it's okay. I know where you're coming from. I don't need that right now. But it sounds sweet. And that's what the enemy wants to do with us. He's a person that will bring things sweet to you. But the end of it is solid. The end of it, there is no foundation. The end of it is destruction. So Romans 12 says, we're back into Romans, and it says, verse 12 and verse 1. Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. Present your bodies as a living sacrifice. It didn't say a dead sacrifice. It must be living. Have you ever sacrificed an animal dead until the sacrifice? When the animal had to be living before the sacrifice. And the torment that animal go through, that scared and that fright. So too, we are living bodies. We are living human bodies. There is, as I said, there is things in us that God wants us to lay on the altar of sacrifice every day. And not just only for one day. Sometimes you will hear people say, if you only repent now, you don't have to repent again. This is another teaching. That's why I thank God for our cardinal. I thank God that bringing us back to the right teaching, the foundation. We have missed it. We have all sorts of teaching happening in the body of Christ. As a living sacrifice, we said holy. It must be holy. Not only holy, but acceptable. You might say what you have is holy, but is it acceptable? Sometimes we say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But is it acceptable to God? When we watch Cain and Abel, was it acceptable to God? Is God pleased with what you are doing? Some people say, well, God loves me. I do what I want to do. And it no matter. That's the teaching we are getting now. I can do whatever. And He knows my heart. God, you know my heart. God, you know I love you. You know my heart. But, It's happening. It's happening. It's happening right in the body of Christ. It's happening. But God, you know me. But here the word said it was what? Be holy, acceptable to God, not man. Because man could accept it. Man could accept it. That's one thing. Whatever you do right now in a nation, man accepting anything happening right now. That's why Paul said in Romans chapter 1 and 16. He said, for I'm not ashamed of what? The gospel of Christ. For it is what? The power of God to salvation for everyone who believes, for the Jew first and also the Greeks. For in it, what it is talking about? He's talking about the gospel of Christ. For in that gospel that we believe in, for in that gospel that we stand firm in, for in it, the righteousness. So the gospel, there is our righteousness of God. Is revealed from what? Faith to faith. Yes. As is written, the just shall live by faith. So, understanding now that this gospel that God gives us, as I said earlier before, is not my gospel, is not your gospel, but is the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. It came from Him. It comes from Him. It's in Him. He's righteous. He's holy. So this word that we take in, we read every day, it must apply in our hearts. It must apply in our life. That we must take it in and be able to walk worthy of it. Walk worthy of it. And the only reason we can walk worthy of it is when we allow the Spirit of God to work in us, so that we be able to walk worthy of the gospel. So as I said last week in 1 Peter 4 and 7, we talk about facing trials that come to make us stronger, that we're able to stand firm in the things of God. And we saw that Paul suffered for the things of God. He told his readers, do not think it strange concerning fiery darts, which is what? To try you. That's why I said, when trials come, we shouldn't be surprised. When we are surprised, that means we are really taking the gospel. Because we are hearing the word even today and on too. We're not supposed to suffer anything. A trial come in your life, you start to pray in tongues, you run up the chandelier, you shake on chandelier, you rebuke the devil, and you even rebuke God's will all over your life. No, there are trials that comes to make us strong. Even Jesus Christ suffered. Even Jesus Christ, He had us to suffer, went to the cross for you and I. Amen. That we can be free. That we may have life and life abundantly. Yes. Not just only life, but it's the abundance life. A life that is worthy of the calling upon our life. So the next time that you face trials in your life, ask God, what it is that you're doing in my life. I may not understand it now, but God, I submit to you that you will show me what it is that you're doing in my life. What it is I'm not seeing. What it is that I overlook. Because our Heavenly Father, He cared for us. Just as a father, natural father, cared for his children, so our Heavenly Father cared for us. And He wants the best of us, that we be able to walk worthy of the calling that He has called us. Yes. So here is Paul. Let's go back to Philippians chapter 1 and 27. Here is Paul is letting the Philippians and them know, hey, listen, this gospel, we can't be bickering and having schism. And this one will like this one and that one do listen to church. No. this gospel, it come from me, but it come from God. That our life should be conduct worthy of Christ, so that whether I may come and see or when I'm absent. Sometimes the best behaving people is when the pastor is there and everybody puts on the best performance. There's something about humanity. Or when the boss is around, we are the bestest, I put some bestest and all to person. Yeah, we do all that needed to be done. Everything just to please the boss or to please the pastor or the one who's in charge. But as soon as they leave that door, your behavior starts. So here is Paul is saying, whether I am here with you or absent, let your conduct be worthy of the gospel of Christ. Let your conversation, what you're speaking, what you're relating to your brother, to your sister, let it be worthy. Let it be approval to God. Sometimes we backbite people so much in the church and out of the church. Especially if the pastor not there, we backbite a lot. But here's Paul is telling, whatever is going on here, I know your affairs, I know what's going on here, but let your conduct be worthy of Christ. So we understand. So we understand, that we know that there were a disunity in the congregation, and that's why he addressed them in Philippians chapter 1 and 27. We may not know what was the problem, but we know that there was a problem happening within the church. And he's talking about, the ethical problem. He's talking about their behavior, how they should walk, how they should communicate to each other. So for one thing for sure, that I can say that God has saved us from disobedient unto obedient. And there is a certain manner of a life that is working of the gospel of Christ. I'll say it again. For one thing I can say for sure, that God saved us from disobedient to obedient. He take us from darkness and bring us into his marvelous light.